Which one?
I don't remember, but he's got this really kind of complicated sounding, weird, obviously worked out lick for the first half of the solo. Mm-hmm. And he's like, all right, I'm out of that. Now I got to play something else. And it's just like, oh, okay. It's just like,
yeah. A lot of the playing on that album doesn't go together for me. I mean, I tried to get into it and I just can't.
But that's an example of a guy who, in my opinion, is better than that and probably should have known that needed to be done over again.
Sometimes I think we think too much too. I mean, it shouldn't all come from your head. I mean, as analytical as I tend to be, I don't let it come all from my head. I'm trying to express something. I'm trying to express an emotion or an attitude. Yeah, and whether I want to build tension in a solo. I don't want to just fly through the thing, all the way through the thing. Yeah. I want dynamics in my solo. I want it to start somewhere and end somewhere else and have peaks and valleys in between.
Well, dynamics is a tough thing. I mean, that's...
I gotta say, like...
That's an application.
Yeah, it's like, when... your thing that you wrote in the RG, I mean, I read it years ago, but like, when I first came to the site, there's that thing that you wrote about, about being able to sing any Randy Rhoads solo at your desk, sitting at your desk. Yeah. And you could just think.
I don't have a guitar in my hand. I don't have it playing in my office.
Right. But you can think of it on top of your head. Yeah. That's one of the things about Rhoads, why he is one of my favorite guitar players of all time, is because it is a cohesive musical statement in the middle of another song.
It's a song within a song.
Yeah, that brings a song to another place, and that's really what it is. And that, I think, is what, in a rock guitar solo context, it's kind of like, I know that's what I'm shooting for, is not even so much technical statement, it's just the statement of being able to bring the song to a better place or to a different place and have a song within a song. And patience is the key to that. For young players, man, that's what it is, it's patience. The way I play now, I have a lot of technical facility. But like I said, I've been playing guitar for 25 years. How many years have you been playing guitar?
30.
Yeah, how many years have you been playing guitar?
It's hard to say.
Well, you stopped for a while.
I stopped for a while, and I've never played like consistently.
How many years are you playing now?
33.
You? Yeah, I mean, it takes a long time to get to a point where you feel comfortable in your playing, And I've been playing 25 years, and I'm a guy who plays on average 4 to 6 hours a day.
Well,
I don't play anywhere near that, but I can express what I want to express.
But that's the other thing. It's like here's a great quote, and it's one of my favorite quotes of all time from Sammy Hagar. When they asked Sammy Hagar what it was like standing on stage playing guitar with Eddie Van Halen, he goes, "Well, Sammy goes, I can say what I want to say on the instrument. I express exactly what I want to say. Eddie can express what he wants to say. He can just say it in a bunch of different languages." Yeah. And I think that's one of the best things I've ever heard anybody say about playing guitar, and I found it really heartening that's what Sammy would say. It's really cool, and I think it goes the same thing now when he's with Sax on stage. Sammy is who he is as a player, and he's not going to be intimidated by somebody just because they have more technique.
No, you bring a different point of view. Yeah. And the other thing I always knew, because I was not practicing 4 hours a day or anything like that, I knew I needed to be more melodic. I knew I needed to inject way more attitude because I don't have the speed. I don't have that facility.
See, but for me, the speed part of the speed is the attitude. Part of it is
just how big your dick is and all of that.
No, for me that's not what it's about. I mean, that's not what it's about. It's not about how big my dick is. I don't have to worry about how big my dick is. Right. But it's more about like
that's not what I heard.
It's about like the style of music that I like. The players that I like have always had some kind of technical facility.
Sure. And
but like I also I like playing melodies, and I like to have well, actually, it depends on the song, really. If I'm playing a ballad, I'm not going to play fast stuff over a ballad.
Right.
And
I mean, that's one of the things that I go back to somebody like John Sykes, and I like, and people talk about him, and I say, yeah, but listen to him when he plays slow. First of all, he's not afraid to play slow.
When he's bleeding.
Yeah. And
see, my thing with John is that, like, unlike Randy, I cannot think of a single thing he plays. It's not memorable to me.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have as many composed solos like that, but
he's kind of in the middle.
He has certainly some of them that are like that, but he's a guy who can play as fast as he needs to play, faster than most players. And then there are times when he won't do it at all. He'll just play very slow within a ballad,
right?
And he'll let his tone do the work. Okay. And there's a lesson there. And guys like Billy Gibbons, it's like.
Yeah, Billy's a big part of it.
He's letting your tone do the work, letting your attitude do some of the work, and you can inject some character in it that way. That
I do have to say though that I was watching on YouTube the other day, and I was watching Michelangelo, and he had a quote, and I have to say this, and it's something that I will say to my grave.
I don't know why you
The
didn't
only
get a
guys
guitar
who-
that looked like a stripper with their legs up.
I think that's cool.
I would do that.
The only guys in my life I've ever heard say, "Oh, playing fast guitar sucks."
Guys that can't play fast.
Guys can't play fast, and like it's like, and I have said to many a guy, dude, it's just because you can't fucking do it. I don't mind getting in somebody's face about it. It's like, oh, it sucks. Well, because you can't fucking do it, doesn't mean it's bad. But again,
I think another thing about soloing is like, okay, if it passes, it helps to get with other guys and just play.
Oh yeah.
Just improvise, learn how to do that. But the other thing is, there's a point where you just have to quit judging what you're doing and just accept it for what it is, and go ahead and do it, and then find the faults. You're not going to play the perfect thing.
Well, this is why I always suggested getting the drum machine with the backing tracks, because you don't even have to think about it at that point. It's like, okay, there's no one in the room here to judge me.
Yeah, you just play.
Okay, and it's going to loop around forever.
Times, yeah.
And if you fuck it up the first time, you catch it the next time around.
But like,
and
how do
work
I?
out the phrase you just fucked
Well,
up.
that's what I do with solos.
And it's like, yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying, in terms of like, for learning how to play with people, it's like I've met so many people and heard from so many kids. It's like, and I go to these jams and like, these kids are there and they freeze up because they're not used to playing with people. And
Right.
They're afraid that they're gonna shit all over themselves and stuff. Like
Well,
that.
and one of the
if
biggest.
you play along with a drum machine like that for a few hours,
Do you play with drum
a week,
machine?
you're gonna get over that fast.
I have a rhythm track. I have a little Zoom thing that's got a built-in rhythms, and I'll play along with that. I'll plug it into my rig and play the drum part through the PA,
Right.
so I can hear it.
What I
Or I'll
usually
use it with headphones.
That's cool. See, what I do is I write a lot of play-along tracks for my students, like stuff for them to practice along to.
Yeah.
So I keep them all on my Pro Tools,
Right.
and then I just turn them on and throw them on through speakers.
Yeah. I mean, if
That's
you're
what I did
Guitar
earlier
teacher
when I
when
said
I
about.
first started.
So,
had the
I mean,
same,
if you
there
get
was
back to the-
sets back in those days.
If
That's
you
what
get
I said
back to
earlier
the
about
soloing-
finding
We
a
had a
groove.
whole setup of
Yeah.
those.
If you get back to the soloing thing, I mean, now when you have recording software, you can do take after take on a loop, and then you can audition all of the solos that you did in this is take 1, this is take 2, this is take 3. You can comp take 2 with take 4. You can do all that stuff, and that's great. But I mean, it's if you played it right one time and you played it all the way through, it's not that it's significantly better. You can always go back and
Well, I mean,
figure
like-
out what you did, but.
The way that I use Pro Tools, and I do this a lot because I record a lot and I do music for TV commercials and a lot of stuff where I have to have like perfect stuff down. It's going to be on TV, millions of people are going to see it.
Yeah.
One of the ways that I record and the way that I practice
Do you have the AC on?
Yeah.
is,
It's freezing.
yeah, it's cool. The way that I practice composition or compose solos is I'll put like the track in, like I was telling him before, I have this little Tascam CE trainer, CEGT2. I just got the new one, but I've had the CEGT1 for like 5 or 6 years. It is the best thing I ever bought ever in my whole life. Because not only, like it does the slow down thing, which I never use, but it allows you to loop CDs. You can put any CD you want in there. Take whatever song, and you can loop any phrase as long or as short as you want. So if you just want to hear like the 3 little notes at the end of the phrase,
Right.
you can get it. Yesterday I was teaching a kid how to play Little Wing, and we were going bar by bar, Little Wing, like through the phrases of the
The intro part?
the intro, like that part. But what really is like the verses, like the second verse and stuff, where he's like, and then all those little funky things he does. You can really nail them by looping the parts.
Right.
So what I did was I had that thing for years, and I love it because it's really great for learning tunes and for teaching. And then just recently when I joined this metal band I'm in, I have to play these solos over songs that I didn't write, which is really tough for me. So I took the songs without the solos, like they gave me tracks, and I stuck it in my CD trainer, and I just started looping those parts. And what I would do was I'd sit and I'd wank over it and find out what scale I was going to use, and then start like, okay, well this is cool here. Then I would take like, if the parts have like, let's say part 1 is